Alright, what is going on, everyone? My name is James, here looking at another stock. This is PayPal stock. So, I didn't make a video on this one last week, but it is one of those stocks that I've been kind of watching. I do keep an eye on general options flow and just the flow, the chain, the tape. Just seeing a lot of big buys, a lot of big options buys. Now, I will say, they did just have a little bit of a news drop on Thursday, which ended up being more of a sell the news than a buy the news. Go figure. But overall, as far as looking at the stock from a technical standpoint, the weekly did not finish out very pretty. It was actually pretty ugly, to be completely honest. That bearish candle right there, completely engulfing or just about engulfing the prior week's candle. Not a good sign for the bulls. They're just starting to push out this long-term trend line right here. Now, I will say all hope is not lost just yet. This week in particular, I think will be pretty crucial to see if we can stay at least within the range on this candle from last week. If not, fill it back up to the upside. On the daily time frame, again, we had that strong push. We're getting a nice push out of the trend line, that long-term weekly trend line, and then we kind of just got stagnated, right there around $68. Now, we have plenty of room. 67 was actually the start of the gap fill, all the way up to about $72. So I do believe we still have a little bit more room to go. It's just a matter of if we get that here in the next week or so, or if it's going to be stagnated to more of 2, 3, 4 weeks from now. Now, something to keep in mind, we do have FOMC. We have the FOMC meeting, which generally brings some volatility into the market. Not to mention, PayPal actually reports their earnings on the 7th of February. So we're looking at about 2 weeks right now until they report earnings. Now, typically what you see leading up into earnings is a nice little run, a nice little rally up into it. And what better way of a rally than to pop off the 60 EMA there on the daily and start running to fill up that gap into the 70s. I'm not saying it's going to necessarily go that high. I think it would be nice to get a move up to about 68. Once we get the move to 68, I'm pretty much out at that point unless there's some serious strength. But for the most part, I just wanted to let you guys know I am in a position here at about 75 calls for February 16th. I know it's a little short dated, and to be honest, looking back on it, I probably would have went with the March ones. But just being honest with you guys, I got the 75 calls, and right now I believe my position is down about 30%. So it's definitely, I'm not green by any means. I could have got a better entry. I just did not expect, to be honest, that sell the news type of event that happened. I kind of had a feeling that they might be able to push this, as at that time we were forming a little bit of a bullish kind of flag right here, a bull flag. We're just nicely consolidating down. But the sellers definitely got control on the news. So it is what it is. They pushed us down. We are starting to regain that longer 4-hour 200 EMA. So definitely loving that. I'm liking the price action there, how we just kind of viewed up. I would like to see continuation here on Monday to the 63.50 area in order to reconfirm kind of a false breakdown, pull it back into what this flag formation was supposed to be, and then ultimately get that breakout Tuesday, Wednesday. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. That's just my plan here. I do have a stop under 58.75 down here. I just think that once we get down to 58.75, if that happens, we're starting to break the structure, the near-term structure that I was looking for, and we'll likely pull back down into this 57.50 to even possibly down to 56.50. So we'll see what happens. Again, I think that this was kind of just an overreaction to the news, because honestly, the news was pretty good for PayPal. Kind of teaming up, showing some innovations. The CEO has been saying, to shock the world, and I know there's a lot of Wall Streeters, a lot of people on Reddit. They're obviously like, oh yeah, you really shocked the world. Absolutely plummeted the stock, but one other thing to keep in mind is obviously we did have this trend line that we were starting to form right here. It didn't fully become a true trend line, but we do have the retracement right now to it. So it's not to say that this wasn't just a retracement on Friday to the breakdown spot to continue down again. I'll be looking for preferably a little gap up back into this, so gap up into 62s, 62.50s would be wonderful. But we'll see here come Monday morning. But yeah, that's kind of just want to give you guys an idea. One of the stocks I'm looking at, I think from down here, it's a very low risk trade for anyone trying to get in initially now. I mean, I would say at this point, if you do get in at that, 60, where are we at, 61.78, even if it goes up to $2, if you get into $2, just use this 200 EMA on the 4-hour as your stop loss, so basically $61. $61. I think it's very low risk. You're risking about $1. I've been long in this since about 63.5, I think it was. So you'll definitely have a better position than me. But yeah, I do think there's some momentum and some movement that can be had here. But the buyer's definitely going to step back in here and get it back over 62, in my opinion. 62.50 would be awesome. So that's about it. That's what I got for PayPal here today, guys. Like I said, just being honest and transparent with you, I am down on my position at the moment. I do have a stop in mind. Again, more of like a mental stop at 58.75. If it does approach that level, depending on price action, volume, what I'm just seeing, I'll look to potentially exit my position at that point, take the loss, move on, move forward. So that's it for PayPal. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, anything you guys want me to look at moving forward, definitely leave it in the comments. If you like the video, leave a like, and obviously if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It does help. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.